We are here at the Plera site, and we have some questions for the managing director and the administrative director. So the question right now is, for your staff, especially those in sales, would you prefer for them to have a science background, a medical background, or would a social background be okay?
A what? Social?
Social, like a business background.
Yeah, okay. That's a good question. Both are okay. Natasha answered already, like the biomedical background is the ideal because these people have less, the fear level to go into an operation room is less, is lower, okay. But you are said for a salesman. I think what he has to be most, the background he has to have is that he is responsible enough to deal with life support equipment. He can take an engineer with him to deal with the technical side. The most important is that he closes the deal with total honesty compared to what's available in the market and what does a doctor need. And everybody's afraid, life support system, anesthesia, you can kill a patient. No. Killing a patient is not the machine, it's the anesthesiologist's responsibility. If you sell the idea that you cannot kill a patient with an anesthesia machine, if the machine works correctly, it has sufficient, more than sufficient alarms, that's what the salesman needs. To sell the security that an anesthesia machine, though it's a different class of responsibility, is not different than to sell whatever other medical equipment you can sell, diagnostic equipment or so. That just came to my mind because our salesmen take a short-term training in what the machine is and the rest is hands-on. And they go with somebody who did it already and they get the confidence that they can do it.
In line with your product, what are you doing to make it more green, environmentally friendly?
Yes, very good question. Do I have an answer to that? Are we up to that question? Did we do it? I'm asking myself. As in Mexico, there is not a large consciousness yet about in our branch, I'm really unable to answer that question now. So I know that our facilities is certified for assembling anesthesia machines because we are non-contaminating industry. There's nothing, we don't
that would have to be very
use
strictly
chemicals and all that.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely key to your assembly process, wouldn't it?
But for instance, I'm getting the answers maybe. Talking about what we called shortly before integrated services, now we handle medications, drugs, no? They require a license. We have a wholesale distributor license to transport the drugs into the different hospitals and also to administer them, so they are controlled drugs. And these drugs, we are responsible for their use. And ecology, green-wise, or however you call that, we are more than interested that they use as little as possible because that's the expensive part of the anesthesia, of the surgery.
And it goes into the environment.
Yes. And our devices specifically for that drug, that is a OEM device coming from Germany. It's the most economic, non-contaminating device. You know, Germany is world leader in anything, like green. Even the Green Party won the elections in one state. So in that sense, we are very aware that our machine should not contribute to green damages. No?
Can I add something to what you said? Because earlier you mentioned that you actually work on your machines, because product life cycle. Most machines, especially the older machines, nobody really thought about what would happen at the end of the product cycle. But since you mentioned that with the government, you actually work on refurbishing your machines. That's one way of being very green, because now your machines are given a second lease.
Exactly, you had the answer before me. So we took advantage of the need of the government having the budget in the service department, using machines out of order. We said, let's do it inexpensively under the label of updating, and then you save money, we earn a little money, and we have new machines in operating rooms. And that worked wonderfully. We worked a couple of years with that. We're still doing that with some government agencies on a smaller level, because it's a lot of, it's a difficult thing to administer. It goes in the service rail of administration, which is real complicated, because all these old machines, which are almost not confiscated by the same government, they notify the hospital, don't use that machine, it's out of order, and they continue to use it. So what we really sell is the consciousness, not to continue to use those machines, because that's a kind of an educational process to the government to spend the money on the right things, no?
Yes. I mean, there the important part is that, well, you know it everywhere in the market, you have it also, that there are refurbished products that are sold but could be harmful for the health of the patient. And so that is why we tend also, what we try to do is, when we get these old machines and we update them, the ones that cannot be updated anymore, those are destroyed. I mean, so there is no possibility of having those machines again into the market. And I mean, that's just one of the most important things, that you know that those machines that are out of norm and cannot be updated to norm, I mean, have to be destroyed. So nobody gets a hand on them. And that's one of the...
I'd like to conclude by saying that we just found out from, this is a small family-owned business, and it is very interesting to know that the family makes sure that their machines do not end up in landfills. They actually take them back and make sure that they take care of destroying them, and that is protecting the environment. That's a very positive contribution, not only to Mexico City, where they have the manufacturing plant, but to the rest of the world as we share the same environment. Thank you.
Thank you.